Welcome to our birth story. Look at this guy. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, look at this guy.
Welcome to our birth story. I've actually never watched anyone's birth story before, so I didn't really know what it entailed until people started asking me, and then I had to ask a friend. I was like, what is a birth story? And this is my birth story.
This is our birth story.
We did record, not well, but some videos on my iPhone and his iPhone too, I think, of just the day that I delivered and just all the LOL moments. So I'm gonna plug that into this video too, so you guys can just watch that unseen, unhinged footage. Ace was supposed to be due September 23rd.
But here he is.
He was born
Sleeping milk
an
jug.
entire month early. It was a complete surprise to us. We had nothing ready, obviously, because we thought, oh, we have an entire month.
In August, we both were supposed to go to a bachelorette and bachelor party. Jess was supposed to go
To Vegas first.
But it was too hot. And she was like, there's no way I'm gonna be miserable out there.
Yeah.
There's no shot.
You guys already know how my pregnancy has been, and
Yeah.
I was like, there's just physically no way that I can go.
And I was supposed to go to Florida, have a golf trip with the boys, had the plane ticket and everything. So it's just really wild timing. But Jess didn't end up going on the bachelorette trip, and I didn't go on the bachelor party because he was literally born during that week.
So the day that I was supposed to come back from Vegas was the day that he came. Well, I guess leading up to, I had been getting like random contractions, and not just like the tightness ones, but like the period feeling ones. So already my OB was like, hey, just take it easy, like stay off your feet. So the whole week and a half before that, I was pretty much just laying on the couch not doing anything. I didn't realize that this could have indicated that he was coming soon. I don't know, or maybe it isn't.
Even though they kept saying that it's no indication that he's coming
and
early or
he's fine
late.
and everything, whatever.
But little too did we know, last time we went to an OB appointment, Jess was like, is this, like, what is poking up here?
Oh yeah.
Because this ties into the whole story.
I didn't know what body part it was, but it was consistently just like shoved up my ribs to the point where I couldn't sit or lay down or do anything comfortably. I literally always had to like lay like this. And I was like, what the heck? So we had seen my OB a couple days before, and she's like, okay, well, you're gonna have your 36-week ultrasound on Friday. We'll just check, but it's probably just his butt. You know, if anything, just massage it down. It's not a big deal. And I was like, okay, whatever. So like, I'm literally just doing this for like 3 days. So on the morning of the 24th, it was 2:30 a.m. And I woke up to do my 100 pees a night that I usually do. And as soon as I sat down on the toilet, it wasn't my pee. It was just another set of liquid that I couldn't even control, like come out. And I was like, what the heck? And then, so I looked in the toilet and I'm like, okay, there's literally nothing. And I was like, all right, whatever. You know, I thought maybe my bladder is just so weak because I'm getting to that point, and it is what it is. So I went back to bed, and I had also taken a Unisom for the first time in months. I hadn't gotten much sleep the few days before that. So I was like totally zonked out of my mind, like so drowsy. So then I get back in bed, and then I'm moving around adjusting, and 15 minutes later, more liquid comes out. And I was like, what the heck? But in my mind, it didn't register that this was maybe my water leaking, because I always just thought your water broke, and it was what you see in all the videos in the movies where like tons of water come gushing out. I didn't realize that it could just leak. So I was like, oh, my bladder is so weak. So I go to the bathroom again, and I'm like, oh, this is annoying. But again, I am half awake. I'm so sleepy because of the Unisom. So I decided to put just like a little panty liner on my underwear. And I'm like, okay, this should just help soak in whatever. Get back in bed. I'm adjusting again. 15 minutes later again, boom, more water comes out. And I turned to Tyler, I was like, okay, something is going on, but
she was like,
we'll just figure it out in the morning.
She goes,
I was so tired.
She goes, something's coming out of me and it's kind of weird. It's just like clear liquid, but it's not pee. And I was like, okay. And so I remember other people saying stories like sometimes people think their water breaks, but it doesn't. And so I was thinking like, oh, you're still a month away, so maybe it's just like discharge and pregnancy, I don't know, whatever. And so she comes back into bed and she was like, it's still coming out. And I was like, okay. She goes back to the bathroom and then there was some blood spotting this time.
Just a tiny bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal, but that was enough for me to be like, all right, we're going to the hospital. Just to at least just make sure. But there's something in me, I feel like in like my spirit, it was just like, Ace is coming. Like
in my mind, I was like,
crazy.
I want to sleep. I am so tired. Yeah. So at this point, earlier that week, I think I had maybe just set aside like a few things. I started my hospital bag, right? It was like shower slippers, a towel, like some diapers for him, an outfit for him.
I didn't even have a bag.
He had nothing ready.
I thought it was like, we got a full month.
And that's it. Like
I'm going to Florida for a bachelor party trip like the next day. And I was like, I don't have anything packed right now.
And we're like freaking out and we're like, okay, we gotta go. And so I literally just grabbed that bag and we woke up my mom. And then Tyler like literally brought one extra outfit. You didn't even bring like lounge clothes. I don't know what you were.
What was going on.
I don't know what Tyler was packing.
I just needed to get in the car.
He was just like
the emergency first responder brain in me was just like, just get some clothes on and go.
And then we also didn't have the car seat or any of that ready. So we just literally threw it in the trunk. We're like, we'll figure it out, you guys. Yeah. It was so comical.
It is August 24th. 3:14 a.m. I don't think that my water broke, but I'm definitely leaking. Like fluid keeps coming down, and we're packing for the hospital right now. I have literally nothing ready. We don't have the car seat ready, so Tyler's getting that ready right now. I'm a little lightheaded. I feel some pressure in my lower back, so I'm just trying to breathe and stay calm. But yeah, we're gonna go to the hospital and see what the heck is going on.
Morning now, and we're on the way to the hospital. We get to St. Jude's at 4, and the nurse is like, okay, you know, we call the doctor, she's on the way, but you know, your water's leaking, but it's totally fine. If baby is fine, we'll just keep you in the hospital for like another week and a half until you reach 37 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think they said that she would have been there for at least another week to a week and a half.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't in labor yet, so.
Right.
But they confirmed that her water did break, so they're like, well, you're not going home.
Yeah, so they're like, just hang out here. You're gonna be living at the hospital. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm just hanging out, and you know me again, so hungry, right? On my 3 a.m. craving. So I'm on Uber Eats. I'm like ready to order a breakfast burrito. And then the doctor comes in and she goes, hey, all right, we're gonna do your ultrasound really quick. So I was like, okay, I put my phone down. I'm just laying there. And then they're like, oh my gosh, your baby is breech. And I was like, what? Again, this whole time, like, because my OB was like, oh, we'll just see what's gonna go on your next ultrasound. Like maybe his butt's here, head is here.
So his head was up by her ribs.
So this whole time I'm like shoving
the whole time
his head, and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. And so because my water was leaking, they're like, oh, you can't, like the baby needs to come out now. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, we're gonna have a C-section for you in 2 hours. So you can't eat. And I was like, bro, I'm so hungry. They're like, sorry, you can't eat. And we're gonna just start prepping you now. And because again, and honestly, this was such a blessing because I took the Unisom and I was so tired and out of it. All of this was just happening so fast. And I know that had I not taken Unisom, I would have been like panicking and like freaking out, not in a bad way, but just, I didn't prepare or expect any of this. I had no time to ever even like consider I was having a C-section. So because I was so like loopy and tired, I was like, yeah, bro, like, all right, let's just do it. Like,
I'm tired and drowsy. I just want to sleep, so that's why. Bro, this IV hurts like a mother.
Mother.
It hurts so bad.
How you feeling, Jess?
Is it fun on video?
I decided to do a video.
Oh, okay.
Regardless of how everything happened, it was just such a divine, like, just the divine timing of everything, because here we are thinking, all right, we have 1 full month. All right, now we're in the hospital a month early. We're thinking, okay, we may be here for a week. No, we're gonna do C-section. It was just, okay, God knew what was going on the whole time, and it was just super cool to see what, you know, just the timing of Ace coming out. And
yeah.
just everything that happened, because we were preparing for her to have a vaginal birth, but clearly did not happen that way, and it wasn't meant for her to happen with him, at least.
So they come in and they just start hooking me up to all the IVs. I get changed. Tyler puts on his bunny hazmat suit, and then they literally just take me to the operating room, and that was it.
All right, so clearly the water broke. It is, when did we check in? 3:30. There's Tyler's hazmat suit.
Freaking size of shack.
You look like Breaking Bad. The collar is inside.
Ace, the things I'm doing for you today, man. Putting a bunny suit on. Say, Mom, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you, Mom. Woo!
The noises he makes are so funny.
Yeah, they are.
Hi. That's so cute. Want to hold hands? Oh, yes, you do.
Grab it, Ace.
But like he was saying, it was just like God knew that it had to happen that way, and every single little step that happened, like me taking Unisom and like not having taken it for like so many months, not being fully prepped, I feel like all of that, there was a purpose to it. For me, like always have been in the past like a control freak and being prepped for everything, this was more of God just being like, I'm in control, and you can prep all you want, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And so it's been kind of cool because I've been able to let go of a lot of that this season.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like roll with the punches now. I've never been like this before.
I think it actually made us almost better, like the best, it was the best possible outcome in preparing us to be the best that we could be in that moment, because it wasn't like there was no more time to prepare. It was just go and do. It was, one, it's a story, but two, it was more fun in the sense of like, oh my gosh.
It
like,
was really fun.
It was so
we
cool.
were laughing the whole time.
It was
Like
so
we were
crazy.
never for a second pissed off
No.
or worried or panicking or anything. We were just like,
Like,
bro,
dude, he's here.
what is going?
Like,
Like,
Ace is
hey,
here.
it is what it is. And because I had such a horrible pregnancy, I did want him to come early.
She said that so much.
But I
actually.
said that like,
She's like, just come now. Just come now.
no, but even before, I had this weird instinct that he would come, and I was like, he's gonna come earlier than his due date. I know it. It just, again, we
And
didn't.
he
think
surely
it.
did, which also meant that he's considered a late preemie.
He was born at 35 weeks and 5 days.
But he is completely healthy. He's thriving. This kid is insane.
He was born
Just-
like so strong. He didn't have to go to the NICU for anything.
Overachiever.
And all of the tests that they had to take for him, he literally passed with flying colors every single time. He was already gaining weight before we even left the hospital, and he wasn't like crying or fussy. He literally like perfect, to the point where the nurses were like, this kid is doing better than some of the full term or like other babies
It
here.
was just crazy to hear what, like, the things
the
that
nurses and the doctors were saying about
just
him.
the whole experience from beginning to end, it was just wild. And it was just more so of like God had his hand
On
all
this entire
this
situation.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was
Good morning. So last night, because he's preemie, we have to do a blood test on him every 2 hours for feeding, which is the only hard part because I have to be like awake for all that stuff. But other than that, I mean, he slept a lot, so which is good. He's latching well. Yeah, we feel really good, and he's doing really good, and all his tests are good, so he's a champ.
Hi, sweet girl.
It is day 3, 3, 2,
3.
Day 3. Everything is going really well. He cluster fed yesterday, and it wasn't too bad. We still got
About 5 hours.
yeah, 5 hours of sleep, 1.5 to 2 hours like per feed, or I don't know, whatever it's called. But anyways,
Like in increments.
So everything is going really good. He's only fussy when we have to change his diaper.
Yeah.
But other than that, he doesn't cry. He's killed every test. Everything is checking off.
He's acing them all.
He's literally acing them all. He is such a good baby.
He's a champ.
I love him.
At the end of the day, I kept thinking to myself, like, what did I do to deserve that? Like, I just can't.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a good way,
Yeah.
in the sense of like, I'm so humbled of being his, like, I don't know, it's just crazy.
A lot of it I think also has to do with just prayer and contending, and that was a huge thing we learned in college, at Oceans College, when we did that. Just like changing the way we prayed, changing the way we contended for things, and then like speaking life into our future child, not just being like, oh yeah, we're expecting, but like taking dominion over the person that God has called them to be, and like speaking that over their lives beforehand, I think was another huge thing too. And we had just gotten so many words that like Ace is gonna be so strong and like such a leader and blah blah blah. And then it's so funny because even with his name, and he was like killing all the tests, and everyone's, oh my god, he's just acing everything, like his name is so fitting for him. Like everyone was saying that. It was just so funny. So I mean, yeah, honestly, like we couldn't have been happier with how it all unfolded. And am I mad that I got a C-section? Like absolutely not. I actually, like, it didn't bother me, and I kind of just liked it better. I don't know, like I don't have a vaginal birth to compare it to, but I don't feel like the recovery process was that hard for me.
Still recovering in a way.
I'm still recovering, yeah. I mean, the incision is still a little tender, but like the moment that they took him out of me, everything that I had been feeling, like the ugliness of my pregnancy, all of that, like all just kind of released. And I felt like since that point on, like everything was very euphoric. And I don't know if that just kind of carried into my recovery too, but like nothing was ever that bad for me. I just released everything, and it was so great because I was like, oh my gosh, it was like there was like a veil stripped, and I was like, ew, who have I been the last 8 months? I just didn't realize how not myself I was until they physically pulled him out of me.
Speaking of Oceans College though, someone was asking me, did you guys do any like classes or prep for Ace and stuff like that?
Oh,
and
yeah.
we didn't take one class.
You didn't take one birthing class.
But I'll tell you this.
Nothing.
I will tell you this. Oceans College was such an obedience thing for us, and we've talked about that prior and maybe Instagram stories, posts, whatever. But at the end of the day, it was something that we felt God told us to do. We did. And a week into college, we found out that Jess was pregnant. And that whole college was the entire preparation phase of becoming parents, because the people just, I'm about to cry. It just came over me, like Holy Spirit just like it made me weep. Because all of Oceans College completely prepped Jess and I, like literally the best way for becoming a father and mother, just parenthood in general.
Yeah.
It literally, like, honestly, taking Oceans College was like, it was so life-changing in the spiritual realm. Wisdom, knowledge, Bible stuff, anything you name it. But God knew that college would change our lives in the sense of like, you guys are now ready to be parents, and that's like
He
that was the
knew-
only classes we needed to take.
He knew what
It's
lessons
crazy.
we had to learn, and it wasn't like about changing diapers or like sleep training or any of that stuff. It was like so much more internal, and I don't know how to explain it or put it into words, but I feel like that helped us so much, because even like Tyler's mom or a lot of people were like, you guys are so chill. I, knowing my personality, would have not been probably like that chill, but I think it's just everything that Oceans College taught us, and we're just living in like the product of what the college gave us.
We came out of it just completely different people. There's so many things that God did in us through that school or through church and through the college, but yeah, it was just one of those life-changing experiences that, you know, God had his hand on all of it, and here we are with the best son I could have ever asked for. It's just amazing.
So we hope you enjoyed our birth story. It was LOL, comical, completely
Divine.
off the grid, but
Yeah.
divine.
Yeah.
And I honestly am so happy. Okay, bye.